Hi, everybody. I am so excited to have Nina Roberti back with us today. Last month, we had her on to talk about Bach Flower Essences as it pertained to last month's animal messages for the month, which was, I'm losing track of time, which was faith. Thank you, Nina. It's like, oh my gosh, Nina and I were just talking about how the energy is just like, oh my gosh, it's all over the place and it's hard to keep up with things. Anyway, so we're in February. The animals message for February was B, and we've got some really great responses from last month. So we thought, why not have Nina come back and talk about specific Bach flower essences for B? So Nina, let us know.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be back here with you. So as we know, all the Bach flower essences are here to help us be present in the moment, which relates to be, right? How and what does be mean? Like be here now, be present, be soulful, be mindful. Like that's so vast and it encompasses so much. So in picking the different flower essences, it's like, what are the main ones that stood out for me? And as I was saying to Julie, I was like, last week when I was looking into it, I think with the energies that are different, it's like, how is it that we can become more present and what makes us more like kind of centered into our body? So I picked three that it seems that would be very supportive for us to be, right? And to be here now. So the
Awesome.
first one I chose was agrimony. So agrimony, which this is what it looks like, if you can see that.
Mhm.
And that's Agrimony. And this is basically, so it restores your inner peace, your joy, your content. It's so that you can be. But this is agrimony. You use this when you are basically like you're wearing a mask of cheerfulness, right? When someone, as you know, Julie, when someone says, "How are you doing?" You're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm fine." Right? I mean, I say the same thing going through the hurricane. Oh, it's all good. But no, it's really not. Like you're wearing a mask, it's kind of when you see like for your animals, they are actually you can see the pain in their eyes, but they're being very jolly and happy and playful. But yet
Mhm.
they're anxious. So they're just putting on that brave face just because that's what we're here to do, right? I mean, what we're taught how to do, to put on that
Right.
brave face,
Yeah.
So it's basically anyone that is, you're not, you can't really get settled. You're not
Mhm.
really relaxed. So agrimony definitely assists in bringing kind of you all back into balance so that you have that inner peace within yourself. And I mean, it is amazing that, as you know, Julie, when like, especially for humans, you can see the shift because you can see it like in their faces, right? The chi starts flowing, their face becomes flushed, like they're so much more present. And it's the
Mhm.
same thing with the animals. Like all of a sudden they become more relaxed. They're not so worried and like, oh my goodness, what's going on? All of a sudden they can just be it just restores their inner peace. So it
Mhm.
like the joy comes and then they can just be very content and they can just be.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So like even if the animal's working with you to be and the animal's working with you to even like maybe drop the mask, then this would also be good for like for both parties to take the animal and
Yes.
the human. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Again,
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
as we know, Bach flower essences are great for humans and for animals. So they assist us in, I mean, all of us, right? I mean, I know that, I mean, I take Bach flower essence all the time. I mean, my tincture has so many of them, and it changes as we deal with our emotions or as we shed those like layers, the onion layers, right? Everything kind of, as we become content or we become, we resolve an emotion, another one arises.
Yeah.
Or maybe the energy shifts or something all of a sudden arises, or however that is, we the Bach flower essences are here just to bring us back to the present moment so that we are able to really kind of move forward with a open heart and a clear mind,
Yeah.
as compared to that kind of.
Muddled other stuff.
Yes. Which actually I was going to speak of one, but one of the other ones I is white chestnut. So as I'm saying, the mind is white chestnut. So white chestnut, it looks like it's white chestnut. Can
Okay.
you see that?
Cool.
Okay.
Yep.
So white chestnut is basically when like we as humans, as soul, we have that mind chatter. It's like we're on a gerbil on that wheel that's continuous. And I know for me, when I go to bed at night, lay down, you're so exhausted and you're tired, but sure enough, there goes that mind. And the mind starts going and going and going, right? And I
Hmm.
get up and I will take it, I will do a droplet of that. And it is amazing the shift, but it's basically for all of that, the mind chatter. It is kind of for, it's kind of like when you, I mean, you just can't rest, right? And like for animals, it's kind of like the obsessive compulsive behavior. And it's the same thing with us, with our thinking, our worrying, and all that. We know
Yeah.
that as a soul, as a human, but like for the dogs or animals or cats or whatever animal it is, they are like the persistence in licking, or they're chewing on their skin, or their tails wagging, or well, not wagging like they're happy, like wagging like in a neurotic
Yeah.
way. Um,
Yeah.
and they're just restless.
Hmm.
There's animals that possibly at times, they get bored. So white chestnut is a really, really good one for this because it gives you the ability to kind of just to have inner peace, to
Yeah.
basically to be relaxed, to rest. It's to calm and to clear the mind so
Hmm.
that you are able to be,
Oh, cool.
you know.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, it's I use this one. I mean, I use a lot, all of them
Yeah.
usually, but and it is amazing though, because as we know, Julie, right? Like when we are a little neurotic or obsessive, or we have that mind that keeps going and going, our animals pick up on that.
Yeah.
Right? We know Lucas does. I know Bailey does. And all of a sudden, I know like Bailey will try to get me out of my mind and he'll like keep pawing me, like, okay, stop, mom. Like,
Mhm.
let's calm, or like we're out for a walk. He'll just sit there. Like he'll
Yeah.
all of a sudden just sit and be like, let's just take it all in. Let's just
Hmm.
be very present and take it all in. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it is amazing how, yes, the flower essences will assist the human or the guardian and the animal.
Yeah.
And then one other one I picked was Scalanthus, which that's a tough one.
I know I was going to say that 3 times fast.
Scalanthus, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like. I'll spell
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And it is Cleranthus. So this is along the same lines. It's kind of like when you feel that you're bipolar or you're schizophrenic, you actually have two extremes, right? So you're split. You all of a sudden you're like, you can't make the decision, and it's like, oh my goodness, should I do this? Should I do that? And they're two extremes. So you're oscillating between both extremes and you can't make that decision. Like for animals, maybe all of a sudden you'll see an animal that it's, 1 minute is very obedient and the next minute it's aggressive. Or 1 minute it wants to play and it's social, and the next minute all of a sudden it wants to isolate itself, herself, and just be alone. So it's kind of that split between two, and you're just oscillating back and forth. So it's kind
Hmm.
of like, someone that's bipolar or, schizophrenic, because you just have it's an imbalance.
Yeah.
If you're experiencing vertigo or inner ear issues, scalanthus is also, because that is also your off balance, right? Because there's not a balance. So basically, this will bring you like the stability, and it will bring you back into balance.
Okay.
So it will just bring that calmness to you so that
Mhm.
you feel more in harmony with your soul as one, as compared to being split off.
Wow.
So you're able to like maybe concentrate more, have more focus, because you
Hmm.
are more clear and just with one. Like you have the confidence in your ability of the decision that you've made moving forward. So
Okay.
that way, this kind of brings you back into one, into
Mhm.
being as your soul in one, and yeah, at peace.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So I love how they take like there's just different, because there's different ways of maybe you're not being. So when you can identify that for yourself, then to be able to use these to help you, that's really cool. What I also really recommend is to have, if anybody's interested in using these, is to work with somebody like Nina to be able to help, like like to some, because you do a reading on the human, you do a reading on the animal, and then you can do some clearing around some things as well. But then these also bring into some support. And I find that for me and Lucas, it's been super helpful
Yes.
to
Yeah.
work with you in that regard. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing because we all need that support, and it's
Yeah.
just and it's amazing because it's all natural and it goes down to the cellular level. So it is nice that you're not putting toxins in your body. It comes from the essence of the flowers. So for me, I know, like, and I know you, right, to keep things very clean in your body. So that way we can keep a clear channel, and we are able to kind of keep our soul more with clarity and as one, right? Instead of like, where do we go? What do we do? How do we move forward? And all those questions that our mind goes a little wacky at times.
Yeah. Yeah. Were those the three for this month?
Those were the three for to be. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there were a few others. I was like, well, we could do this, or like there's one like Century, which makes you centered and it brings you back into centerness,
Okay.
but I thought these were like for right now with the energy and all that, those really just resonated just to bring us back into inner peace and calmness and clarity.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you found that. I love even too that you were just in tune with everything that's going on and bringing it to the forefront for today. So we'll get this to everybody out there, and whoever has questions or thoughts or not sure, post those in the comments, and we will absolutely get back to you. So
Yeah.
everybody, thanks Nina for doing this
Thank
again with
you.
us. Yeah. All right, everybody, take care. We'll talk to you soon.